Capricorn, welcome to your February 2024 reading with me. My name's Carol, and this is Yellow Cardinal Tarot. And I hope you're coming back from January, December. This is a fairly new channel for you. And I'm quite excited to be doing your February reading. This will be for the first half of February. And it's a general reading, so, take what it is that resonates with you. It's not all going to resonate with you and not probably always going to resonate with you. So we're going to get started with your reading. There are going to be 3 parts to your reading. And so the first part, I'm just going to look at your energy, Capricorn, just to see where you're sitting. Sometimes we have this decision or this gnawing, this nudging from our intuition that we want to begin something, we want to do something, we want to get some freedom in our life. It's a common theme, I think. And so I just want to see where you are, what decision you have to make, and where you're kind of stuck. And then what I'm going to do, the second half, is I'm going to look at your shadow. Now, some of you are familiar with the term shadow work and shadow. And it really is taking a deep dive into the unconscious and seeing, what sort of blocks that you may have in your shadow that are related to this situation that you're sitting in right now. Now, if you need some more help with shadow work, or if you're new to it, I have this video that I made. It's right here. And I'm going to link it below, and it's called My Powerful 4-Step Guide for Shadow Work. And it really gives you a clear guide to help you with beginning shadow work, to help you with what it is. And it really is based on my own healing journey that I've been on for the last 7 years to heal my complex trauma. And so I've really been able to put together some videos for you. And it all comes from my other channel called Carol Cares. And that's the other YouTube channel that I made a couple years ago. And I've continued to add some videos to it along. And it's just for your mental health, to help you out with your emotions and how to process them, and journaling and grounding. And then in the third part of this reading, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the tarot for some guidance for you as to, what path you need to take. What direction you need to take to sort of get over this situation that you're sitting in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to end it by suggesting some videos for you from Carol Cares. And a lot of times, it could be on journaling or grounding or emotions and whatever I think you need to work on to help you get over this hump right now. But to begin with, I wanted to have some sort of umbrella theme for you for February. And some of you know, or some of you might have already seen a video that I did for you, Capricorn, and it's right here. And it's your yearly reading for 2024. And in that reading, I took out 12 cards for you to represent 1 card for each month. And so the card that you got for February was the 7 of Swords. The 7 of Swords. And so I'm just going to talk a bit about the 7 of Swords and see how this is going to come out in your reading. And I'm sure I'll be referring back to it in the reading. So the 7 of Swords for me is this individual that seems to be, it's called the Thief card. And he looks like a thief, right? He's walking away, looks like it's sort of, could be in the middle of the night, not sure. But here's a camp here at the back. And he's found some swords here, and he's walking away with 5 of them. And if you notice, he's holding them by the tips, right? Very dangerous position to be in. And so for me, the 5 of Swords, the sword itself represents all, our mental belief systems. And for most of us, what we believe about ourselves is just not true. And we spend our life living in that sort of mask-like existence where, people have told you when you were younger, when you were a child, when you were an adolescent, things about yourself that just were not true. And what you did was, especially if you were shamed, what you did is you took all those belief systems and you shoved them down, and you didn't want anybody to know about them, because actually probably a lot of times when you did hear them about yourself, You were young. And so, and to be handed down shame and to be handing down a lot of these belief systems that didn't belong to you, that defined who you were. And that's what's sitting in your shadow. And so I think, this is a month where you're going to start to question a lot of those belief systems that people handed to you when you were younger. And it could have been, something, a teacher could have said something to you. I was a teacher for 30 years. And, I understand that part of it where, teachers are human and maybe they had said something to you. Maybe kids in the playground said something to you when you were younger. They made fun of you. And so these are the traits and the qualities of ourselves that we shove down and we put them in our unconscious and our shadow and we don't ever want to see them again. We put this mask on and pretending that we didn't have this unworthiness or we didn't have these traits that we pushed down. And so that's the overriding theme for you for February. And so we're going to look right now at, what situation you're sitting in. So I'm going to ask the tarot now. I want to pull 3 cards for the top row here. And I'm going to pull one at a time. And I only want 1 card. So let's have 1 card right now for where Capricorn is sitting. One card for where Capricorn is sitting. I did do a lot of shuffling before I came on here. So let's see if they come out easy for me today. You're the first reading I'm doing for today. I have a couple more left to do. 3 more left in yours. Okay, I have 2 cards. I don't want to take the 2 cards. I just want 1 card right now for where Capricorn is sitting. 1 card, please. All right, I saw the 10 of Swords fly out here. So I have the 10 of Swords for you. I believe it was in reverse when I saw it. So I'm going to put that right here for you. And that was the first card that flipped. All right, so what's coming up in your shadow that's related to these 10 of Swords? You have the Hermit in reverse for your shadow. And finally, a guidance from the tarot, please. 1 card. A few of them came out. Guidance from the tarot, please. Guidance from the tarot. This one came out. I believe it was the only one. Yes. The Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands. All right, so now I'm going to use the Rider-Waite for clarification. Rider-Waite, I'm just going to ask for about 3 cards for each section. So let's clarify the 10 of Swords. We have the Devil in reverse. 2 more cards, please. 2 more cards for Capricorn. I did see 1 flip, but it went right back in. 2 more cards for clarification for the Devil. You have the 7 of Wands. 1 more card, please. And that one flipped nicely. The King of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm just going to move this over. All right, the Hermit card, please, which is your shadow. 3 cards, please. All right, so we have these 2. I have the 3 of Cups. I have the Emperor in reverse. 1 more card, please. 1 more card for this Hermit. The Chariot. The Chariot comes out. And Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands. Ooh, those came out. The Hangman came out. And he is in reverse. It's always interesting to try to figure out if he's in reverse. He always is in reverse. And then he comes in reverse when it mixes me up all the time. Okay. One more, two more cards, please. Oh, and I got 3, so we'll go with 3. The Knight of Cups, the High Priestess in reverse, and the Judgment card. Nice card to end off with here. All right, so I believe I'm just gonna set these up so you can see them, so I can talk about them. Get going with your reading. And these are not, yeah, okay. So let's move this one. We have this little guy. I don't know where to put him sometimes. Okay, so this is the 7 of Swords over here. And yeah, I just want you to see this other part here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I'll pull a card for an oracle at the end. Let's start off with the 10 of Swords. So, you know, it's interesting that you started off with the 7 of Swords as our overriding theme here, as looking at your belief systems. And the 10 of Swords for me, you know, it looks like she's in this card, particular card right here, in upright position. She's walking away. This is not the walking away card, but in a sense, the 10 of Swords is the walking away card, where it's that in the Rider-Waite deck, it's the individual figure that's laying on the ground on his stomach, and he has all these 10s of Swords in his back. And it's like, you know, these crows are leaving you. They're the ones sort of that are leaving you. And I think there is a sense here where, you know, you're walking, there's a sense here where I get that these swords, these mental swords that you are sitting with in February, where you're starting to really question yourself, and question where they're coming from, where these thoughts are that you have in your head about yourself. And they're getting to a point where they're just, you know, they're feeling quite heavy. And I think you're going to get to a point where you just had enough of, you know, getting to a point where it's like, this can't be me. This can't be me. And, you know, you're walking away, and it's almost like you're going to go find who you are. Like, if these are all your belief systems that you had, they're sort of dissipating, they're flying away, and you're sort of done with it. And it's in reverse, which is very interesting, because maybe you are in that position where you're ready just to, you know, just to find your freedom and find out the answers to who you really are. You know, these are what's been handed down to me, but I want to know who I really am. And so maybe there's a bit of resistance here. You're sitting in it going, you know, yeah, this is not me. These belief systems are not me. And the devil comes in here for me, and it's in reverse. And when the devil, it's interesting because the devil upright can mean where you have these attachments, and these attachments are very unhealthy attachments. And so they can often be linked to addictions that we have. And sometimes when we're sitting with a lot of mental pain and anguish, we tend to pick up our addictions, right? I know I've picked up so many addictions. My main addiction is overeating and binging. And throughout my years of healing my own trauma, it's become less and less and less of an addiction for me. But that doesn't mean that I've picked up other things like scrolling on my phone, or, you know, there's been some other addictions that I've picked up along the way. And we tend to do that because that's what gets us through our pain sometimes. But your devil is in reverse, which tells me that maybe, you know, you're becoming aware of your addictions, and they're starting to, you know, you're starting to realize, you know, like, why do I have these addictions? Obviously, there's some pain here. There's some real pain here that needs to heal. And you're sitting in that position where you're wondering about it. And so maybe you're thinking, you know, maybe this is the healing path that you're thinking of, you're wanting to take. And because I see that what's happening is in the next card with the 7 of Swords, the 7 of Wands here. This is probably one of my favorite cards in the deck because it really reminds me of myself, because when I started to go on my own healing journey, and I started to tell members of my immediate family, my family of origin, that I was healing, and I had this amazing therapist that I found. I was getting a lot of body work done. I was doing the right things for myself, And I was quite proud of it and quite happy and feeling, even though it was way at the beginning of, this is 7 years ago when it was just at the beginning, but I felt like I was finally on the right path of, struggling for years of going in and out of therapy. And so I started to tell my people around me that it was healing. And my family of origin were the ones that, I really thought I could count on and for support and validation. And it's not the way it turned out, unfortunately. So I've, since gone no contact with my family of origin because I had to. I was on this healing journey and I wanted to heal. I wanted nothing more to heal. And so when you get on this healing journey and when you think about really putting yourself first for once, you're going to get these people at the bottom of this that are taking their wands and they want to stop you from going in the direction that you're going for whatever reason. Sometimes it's out of jealousy, sometimes it's out of fear, and it's their own fear, but they're projecting it on you. And there's going to be people that just cannot support you or validate you for any reason. And that's what I'm seeing here, that you are maybe needing to set some boundaries for yourself. And yeah, maybe needing to sort of distance yourself from some people that are maybe not going to support you or not supporting you right now. And the King of Pentacles comes out. And the King of Pentacles is all about our body, our workspace, our health, our self-worth. And the King in particular for me is that masculine side of us, right? We all have a masculine and a feminine side to us. Every single person on this planet does. And that masculine side represents for me the ego. And the ego part of us, and he's the king here and he's in reverse, so he's ungrounded. And that ego part of you, the one that has everything to do with being grounded, getting back into our bodies and really feeling our emotions that we need to feel to heal. Well, he's in reverse here. And so I see that you're sitting in an ungrounded position where, there's a part of you that's saying, emotions are, you don't need to feel your emotions, or even just the part of you that's saying the whole thing about getting back into your body. Well, that's just a lot of crap, right? Well, it's not a lot of crap because that's where all our emotions are held. And so there's a real part of you that's starting out here in February in particular where you've been doing a lot. You're going to be sitting a lot in your head. And I think there's a big part of you, and I'm not sure how this is going to turn out here, where it comes a time where you're realizing that you need to start to get back into your body, where that's where you do all the healing. That's where the queen is. That's where the feminine part of us is. And that's where all our emotions are. And that's where the healing is going to take place when we get back into our body and get in touch with that. And that takes a lot of grounding on your part. What's coming up in your shadow right now. So you're sitting right now in a real mental state, needing to ground, it looks like. And and to be able to do what you want to do and take your life and get the freedom that you want, and especially the mental freedom, right, that you want. And the Hermit comes up. And so in your shadow, the Hermit card is actually, for me, shadow work card. And this is, if you look at this, it looks like this individual's on a real meditative state, and this comes in reverse here. So I see that there's a lot in your shadow that you haven't dug out, that needs to be dug out, that needs to be looked at. There needs to be a light that you shine. In the Rider-Waite deck, you have a Hermit with the light, and he's shining a light on what's in his shadow, right? It's a journey. If you look at this card, it's a real journey here. There's some steps here that this individual needed to take. This requires you to get very still and to go and, ground yourself and get back into your body. And let's see what's in this shadow here. So what is the shadow wanting you? Why does the shadow want you to look at it right now? What's in there? Well, there's the 3 cups of celebration. This is the 3 cups of creativity. This is 3 cups of these feminine energies here that are celebrating together, right? They're celebrating their creativity. They're celebrating who they are. And one thing that people don't know that's hidden in their shadows, and there's a real big fear to face the unconscious part of ourselves, Because we think that there are these scary emotions that will come out, right? And if we open up that Pandora's box, we're just so afraid that these emotions are going to overwhelm us. And I mean, you can turn it off. It's like a filter, right? You can, or sorry, a tap where you can just turn it on or off a faucet. This card tells me that there are some really beautiful gifts, creative gifts that are buried in your shadow. We do have emotions in our shadow. We do have memories. We do have belief systems. We do have the things that we need to work out. Of course we do. But there's also some gifts in there that maybe when you were younger, they came out and you probably don't even remember. But someone told you that, you know, you shouldn't be doing this, or you're not allowed to do that, or just out of their own fear would have sort of made you put them away and hide those in your shadow and bury them in your unconscious. And so there's some gifts here that are coming out. And it's interesting because I talk about how someone when they were younger would have told you that. And the emperor comes out here, and the emperor is in reverse. And the emperor is a major arcana card, and it is that masculine energy in an upright position, that masculine energy that talks about the laws of society, right? Because look at this individual. He's sitting on his chair, and he's the one that's the emperor, and he makes the rules, and he's so rigid. Number 4 is a rigid number. He's so rigid, he's becoming part of his cement chair. And look at the clothes, what he's wearing. He's been sitting there for years. And so in your shadow, which is buried and it needs to be looked at, there's a real resistance here to look at it. You have been told that he's the guy that says you should do this, you shouldn't do that, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to that. He's the rules of society. He's the rules that you were told, or society told you that you were not allowed to do it. And so you have gifts here that you weren't allowed to come out, weren't allowed to do for some reason. And the Chariot says, you know, the Chariot is all about our will, all about that masculine will, our ego, that is the one that's holding these sphinxes in place with his mind, hoping that they do not go in any particular direction, because he doesn't even have reins that are going to be able to hold on to them. And there is a real part of you that you have been holding on to for so long that has kept this buried and pushed it down with your willpower and in your unconscious, and saying, no, you're not coming out, right? You're not coming out. And now it's like, it's calling you. Your shadow is calling you, and there's gifts in there for you. Beautiful gifts. My tarot right here that I'm doing right now is a gift, is one of my gifts that has come out for me after my own healing. That, you know, in 2019, when I first discovered tarot, that got me in a lot of trouble, actually. I became addicted to it, and then I had to let it go eventually. But I didn't know what tarot was in 2019. So when I first discovered it, I was like, what's this? I was listening to some lady ramble on about twin flames online, and I didn't know what it was. And here I am reading tarot now. So it's incredible how the universe can bring you to where you need to go. And I knew that I wasn't going to read like that woman. And so I know for me, my tarot is all about healing. And so there are gifts in your shadow that are screaming to come out here, you know, but it's time to go get back into your body. And so what's for the guidance from the tarot, the Ace of Wands comes out here for you. And an ace is always a brand new beginning for you. And look at that, look at her head here. Coming from her head chakra, from her, there is this, your third eye, there is this creativity that's just wanting to come out. The universe is handing you this offer. The universe is handing you this offer, this gift, and saying, here's your chance, brand new chance. And you know, I got a comment from somebody today that I replied to on one of my YouTube readings, and it was a woman. She said she was in her 70s and she wanted to do something, and to me it's just like, wow, you know, you're never ever too old, ever. It will be your masculine part of you, this Emperor or the King of Pentacles that says you're too old. You're too old to do this. It's too late. Oh, but I don't know anything about technology. I had to learn how to set up my own YouTube channel. I learned how to edit my videos. I did that all myself. And I did it through watching YouTube videos. And I didn't know I could do that. I always thought I wasn't good with technology. There's a belief system right there. I'm not good with technology. Where'd that come from? Where does that come from? Right? And so this Ace of Wands is here on offer for you. It's a new beginning to find out your new direction. Where do you want to take your life? And anywhere you take your life, any new place you take it, whatever you decide to do for yourself, whatever your situation is, that's creativity. That's being creative. And for you, putting yourself first is being creative. The first card that comes out here is the Hangman. And, the Hangman normally is, let's look at him in the normal when he's upside down in his normal position. That's where the Hangman is when you start to trust your intuition. When you start to trust that nudge that's been coming out in you, that feeling that there's something I want to do. There's something maybe you know what it is, but it's that this is the Hangman where they're starting to trust and feeling very comfortable with trusting their intuition, but he's in reverse. So that means, there's a real lack of trust for you in trust in knowing what your intuition is, and knowing, there's a difference, a big, huge difference. They're sitting side by side here. Big, huge difference here between doing something, doing it with your willpower, the Chariot card right here, and doing it with your inner guidance, which is your intuition. So you get to on this journey to try to decipher what the difference between those two is, and it's a hard one, but you end up it's a process to learn those two, right? It's a real process here. We learn that, going inwards and finding your intuition. This is a process to do this right here, and so. This is the part of the journey that you're on, is to trust your intuition, to trust that nudge. If it's a quiet nudge that won't go away, and it's just been kind of coming up and it goes away, it comes up and it goes away, that's your intuition. If you get this loud, booming, desperate thing that you have to do, that's your will. That is your ego. Now, the intuition is the quiet whisper that doesn't go away, but it's very quiet. And the Knight of Cups is coming here, and the knights in my deck are what I call my freedom fighters, right? And knights want freedom. They are an adolescent part of us that want to be free. And so this knight, this adolescent part of you is coming up, and the tarot wants you to take that on. It's a quality here, and it's saying to you, this knight wants freedom, and it's the cup. And this is the cup, the cup that we hold as especially people my age, or if you have kids, we tend to really give of ourselves to other people. And this is that cup that we're coming and we'll give it to you. It's like that people-pleasing cup. And we spend a lot of time pleasing other people and forgetting all about us, right? And so the tarot says, it's time. Where can you get some freedom in your life where you can commit some time to you? Right? There are things around us and people around us that we're serving, that we're continuing to serve, and it has to stop. Where can you take some time to say no, right? To set that boundary with people. And it can start really small, and it's going to feel so selfish when you start to do it at first. But you're going in the right direction, and the tarot wants you to carve some time out for yourself. Because in order to get in touch with this intuition, you need to get still. That's a real feminine quality, is just to get still so that you can start to feel some of this stuff. Get in touch with these belief systems that you have that are coming up in your shadow. And the High Priestess comes out too, another beautiful feminine energy card here. She's number 2 in the Major Arcana, and she's in reverse for you. She represents pure intuition. In the Major Arcana, the feminine is divided into 2. And so you have 2 archetypes. And this is the number 2. And number 3 is creativity, which is the Empress. And the High Priestess is the card that's pure intuition, and she's blocked right now. So the universe is really wanting you right now to get still, to get in touch with your intuition, because the intuition is available to everyone. People think that you can't get past these 2 pillars and see what's behind that veil. It's available to everyone, every single person on this planet. But it's a time, there's a time when you have to carve out some time for you to get in touch with your intuition, because the Judgment card is your last card. And the Judgment card is that call from the universe that makes people kind of come out of their coffin here. They're becoming alive again. It's the rebirth card. The Judgment is that little call from the universe. That is your intuition. Because when you start to turn this High Priestess upright, when you start to get in touch with your intuition, and you're going to get in touch with that call, this call from the universe, that's the direction you're going to start to go, and you're going to know exactly what direction you need to take your life in. And so I'm seeing here that I'm going to recommend you to really learn. I'm going to give you some grounding videos, because it's so important for you to get still, learn how to ground, to get back into your body, and to find out how, and that's where you're going to get in touch with your inner guidance, which is your intuition. What a beautiful reading for you, Capricorn. I love this for you. So let me pull out right now an oracle card, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. I'll do another reading for you, and I'm going to pull an oracle card for you right now. I'm hoping that just one comes out, and then we're going to do a little reading for it. This one came. One. Oh, I love this for you. Love it. You are epic. You are epic. And if you're hearing that voice right now that says, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. That's one of your belief systems right here. Here's the card we started out with. Here's all those belief systems. You say, no, I'm not. That's one of your belief systems. Somebody told you you weren't epic when you were younger. And that's where unworthiness comes from. Number 4, you are epic. Your epic life. Can you see it yet? It's coming out. It's just over the horizon. Oh, I love this. Sorry, I get excited. Just over the horizon, right there. It's hiding in your shadow. We talked about that. It's right here. I get so excited by these oracle cards, because some of them are just exactly what I just said. And you're at a point where you have the wisdom and the experience to make it happen. Your stamina and hard work are paying off, and you are being called. Oh, love it. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt here. You are being called. Okay, I'll stop. You are being called to bring order from any chaos you've been experiencing. It's time to take the leadership role at the helm of your life and navigate confidently into areas that you haven't explored yet. Oh, so beautiful. They're all hidden in your shadow. You are ready to handle it. And if you're thinking, I'm not, that's another belief system. Be strategic as you plan your route and as you build your future. Know that your guides and angels are supporting the evolution of this dream. The universe, I have an itchy nose here. The universe is offering you a chance to steer toward the epic success you've been imagining. So trust in the foundation you are building. An empire of light and love surrounds you. You are never alone, so don't allow this opportunity to be befuddled by doubt, frustration, or fear, or those belief systems. Dig in with determination and head into a new phase of prosperity and growth. Oh, wow, this is incredibly beautiful for you. Take care, Capricorn. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.